This computer even tells you. Super technology nowadays. So we are recording, and first thing I'm going to do is make sure everybody's on a mute except for Linda. Let me see if I can figure this out too. Now everybody's on mute but me. And then Linda, I'll ask to unmute, so you're the only one unmuted. There you go. Linda, can I hear you?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yes, can you? Okay, good.
We're on track. All is good. So welcome everybody to the accountability call. We like to do this. Now we're doing it as a monthly thing with a special guest, because I figure, like, if you think about your life and the things that you've gone through, everything that you've learned so far is from your experiences, from what you've been through. I like to take what other people's been through and apply it to my own life. That way I don't have to face their struggles. I get all the benefit. Maybe that's a selfish thing, but the only way you're going to learn is either from you and making those mistakes, or you can take note on where others corrected their path, where it may have gone wrong. So that way you can get better with the 2 steps forward without the 1 step back. So we have Coach Linda here with us today, is our special guest. And first, I'm just going to turn it over to Linda and let her tell you who she is. Maybe if you're one of the newer members and may not have to experience or haven't experienced one of her sessions in the morning, but she also specializes in yoga. And I'll turn it over to Linda to let her tell us a little bit about herself.
Very good. Well, welcome everybody, and thanks for having me jump on today. I am at work in one of my offices, so if you hear a bunch of paging or stuff going on, please just ignore. I, first of all, have been with Summers for just a little over 4 years. Started as a boot camp coach with Summers, and then moved on to teaching some yoga. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about my yoga background first. About 12 years ago, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder called Crest Syndrome. It's very similar to lupus. Most people have heard of lupus. But the main debilitating part is joint pain, joint inflammation, like an arthritis, and also severe Raynaud's, which is a disorder in the hands where the blood circulation is cut off. Makes your hands numb, cold, tingly, very, very painful. Feels like when you go out without any gloves on, and then you come back in and it feels like you've slammed your fingers in a car door. Very, very painful.
Now, Linda, can I stop you right there? Because I also experience a lot of joint pain, and I get some tingling in my hands, not to the extremeness of you. Did it start out as mild and progressively got worse, or was it?
Yeah. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. The more it progressed, the more numbness I had. And so I finally went to a rheumatologist. Arthritis runs in my family. So I went to a rheumatologist, had a workup done, and that's when they diagnosed the Crest Syndrome. So the Raynaud's is something that there's absolutely no cure for. I did have a couple of surgeries to try and open up those blood vessels, get them to move into my fingertips. Very painful surgery, long recovery. It only lasted about 6 months and it was right back. So basically I just had to learn to live with it. Which is just keeping your core warm, trying to keep your fingers as warm as possible. When I go to the grocery store to this day, I still wear gloves if I'm going to be in the outside section where I normally shop, because my hands get so numb that I barely can get my credit card out of my wallet. Oh, wow. It's sometimes it's debilitating, but again, it's something that I had to learn to live with. And I guess that's where I wanted to go with this whole thing, is sometimes things happen to you that you have to just learn to live with and cope with on a daily basis. You can't let it bring you down. You can't let it stop you from doing other things. It can't stop you from doing the things that you absolutely love. So therefore, modifications. Sometimes you have to modify things to fit for what is going on within your body. That's what I've learned to do. So when the joint pain all started and the achiness was when I was running a lot, hardcore workouts. It had to stop. And
can I interrupt you, Linda? At what age did you notice started because I think this is all relative information, because there might be people out there that are facing the same issues or same type of things in their body that they don't understand what's happening. Like, when did you first understand that there was a problem, and how long did you wait and kind of remain in denial? Because I know my body's, I'm on this, I feel like based on the stuff you've already said so far, I'm kind of like on the same journey. I was at 2 times a day, overdoing it, being stupid, hitting it too hard, because more doesn't always equal better. And I
Correct.
was actually undoing but now my body's hurting from the abuse that I put it through. So I'm dialing back the intensity, working on other areas of fitness, flexibility, full range.
Right.
So it sounds like your journey is kind of like the beginning of mine. So maybe I should start listening up to what my body's saying.
Absolutely.
And my
Absolutely.
question to you is like, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out this, nothing's wrong, denial, everything's cool. Oh, this is how you're supposed to feel at this age. And I think
Correct.
there's a misconception, not only like with what we're talking about, but, oh, I'm older now, this is just how it is. Well, you're in
Exactly.
a situation where you face an issue that there's no cure, but you have to overcome. There might be people out there in denial, stopping, taking action because they think it's their normal is like everybody else's normal, but actually they're suffering inside without even realizing. What was your breaking point, or the thing that finally prompted you to say, hey, this is enough, I got to get to a doctor and figure out what the heck's going on?
I can say I was about 45 years old, and
Okay.
I did think that same thing, that oh, this must just be normal because I'm getting old. And then I started doing a little research on it. I find that you have to be your own advocate for your own health. You need to do research. You need to plug in your symptoms. You need to talk to others. You need to find out why is this happening to my body. So when I did a little bit of research, I found out that I should probably just go to a rheumatologist. Because of all the joint swelling, pain, aching. So I did. The rheumatologist ran blood work, and immediately it came back that I had an autoimmune disorder, and the Raynaud's being the main part of it. So, like I said, there's no cure for it, but I do take a medication that helps get the blood flow to the fingers. I try to be very proactive, knowing that it gets worse. I was told from the very beginning this would get worse. Need to be proactive. As far as the joint pain and the joint swelling all over the body, I knew that would get worse also. So the doctor said, number one, you need to stop your running. I was a big runner, ran half marathons all the time. Like you said, beat my body up. Ached all the time. So I knew that something had to give. Yeah. So I was extremely depressed. Like, oh my gosh, how am I going to live without running and without doing, step aerobics and all the stuff that I was so used to doing, sometimes twice a day, hardcore, right? So that's when someone suggested a yoga class. And I thought, yoga, it's going to be so easy. I'm already very flexible. How's this even going to benefit me? But I trusted the process. So I took my very first yoga class, and it kicked my butt. I was just blown away by the things that my body did. Still got my heart rate up. Still felt like I had a really great workout. Left there feeling exhausted. The next day I was so sore I could hardly move. And I thought, there's something to this. Now, granted, this was a power yoga class. It wasn't just your basic, stretching easy. It was a power yoga class, and it was hot and you sweat.
With the hot yoga?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
It wasn't super hot. It was probably 90. It's not 80, 88, 90 degrees, not like 100, but it's hot enough to, but so I continued to do it. And I thought, wow, this might really work. This might be my answer to being able to work out hardcore without all that pressure on the joints. So I continued to go. I was up 3-4 times a week. Loved it. It was a challenge. Every time it was different. I was challenging my body again, and I was challenging my mind, because as you all know, in yoga, it's a lot about mind. It's focusing on you. It's focusing on listening to your body. It's connecting the mind, the breath, and the body movements all in one. And that's not easy to do. I know some of you have probably taken my classes, and you know that I tell you all the time, breathe. I can tell people are holding their breath. And it's also taught you to just be in the moment, to accept your body for what it is and for what it can do. And I think that that's really what made my mind switch. When I accepted my situation, my health situation for what it was, and realized I could still do things that would benefit my body without beating it up, that's when I just fell in love with it. So always have been a fitness instructor ever since I've been, 18 years old.
Oh, wow.
Taught,
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
yes, all the time. I've taught every kind of aerobics you can imagine. My pregnancies, taught water aerobics, I've just taught every phase that there's been in the years I've taught it. Love it. I love sharing it with people. I love helping to make people feel better about themselves. And we all know that happens through exercise. So I decided I want to teach yoga. I want to do this. So I signed up with my teacher that I absolutely loved, who really inspired me, and went through the 200-hour course to learn how to become a yoga instructor. It was long, it was grueling, but boy, did it make me look inside myself, deep inside myself, to realize I needed to start accepting myself and my body for what it was. I can't think back to, the 10 years ago when I was running, when I was maybe a little bit thinner, maybe a little bit more cardio fit. I had to realize that that's in the past. We have to just keep moving forward, and we have to just.
Can I interrupt you? So the
Yeah.
thing because the thing that I've always I used to do fitness from a young age, like you, right? But I think I did it for the wrong root reason. It was like, okay, I got to go out tonight, so let's pump up the biceps. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a health aspect behind it. Well, I faced my own health issues probably like 10 years ago, and very discouraging, very depressing. And then I was like, well, if no doctors can't help me, I got to accept me for who I am, and I got to take control of my life and my body. So, and I'm like, so then I was doing fitness not for the look good factor, it was for so I wasn't depressed, always down. So I could, if my body's unhealthy or there's a medical issue, if nobody else can do it, the only thing I can do is try to make my body as healthy as it can be. Now, I always try to look at things from a positive aspect. Now I'm running into, oh, darn, I got joint issues, my back's out of whack, all this, all that. But the health problem put me on track for a better longevity fitness program. So and that changed my mindset, and it really made me understand what fitness was about and why I should be doing it. If I never ran into my roadblocks, I would have been free flying, hitting it too hard for my whole life. If you look at Ronnie Coleman, say this problem never hit you, you continue down the line with the beating your body up. So think about it from that aspect. Say when you get to be 70 years old, going hard all the way to 70, or hitting a health problem and saying, hey, I got to change what I'm doing. Yeah. And I don't want to devalue or degrade what's in your life. I just like to look at it from a different perspective. When you get to be 70, your body it's probably going to feel a little bit better than if you would have went ball to the finish line, full speed, damage your body every step of the way.
Right.
So I try to look at it from a positive spin, and everything that you're saying is resonating with me, and I hope it is out there, because this is amazing stuff, and I want you to keep going. Keep telling me what you're telling me. I like this.
Slow down and adapt to where your body is at now, or pay for it in the end. I would rather be active, hopefully when I'm 70 or 75, still be doing yoga, still be doing the things that I love, rather than completely and totally paralyzed by pain or damage that I've done to my body. I don't want to cause any more damage. My health issues have caused enough damage. So therefore I have learned, and it's kind of funny because every once in a while I'll still be like, oh, this hurts or that hurts, and my husband will say to me, I'll be like, why? I don't understand. And he's like, have you ever been 57 before? And I just laugh and say, no, you're right. I have not. So
that's a good way to look at it too.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing for me through this whole aging process is I tend to, and like I said this in the beginning, I tend to look back at the things I did 15, 20 years ago. And I used to get depressed thinking, I can't do that anymore. So sad, I can't. But I look at my body as to the things I still can do at my age. And it makes me happy for my choices. And I get that endorphin high from exercise. That's why I love to work 5:30 a.m. I get up, I get that endorphin high, and I'm ready for the day. I know some people don't have that in the mornings, that they like to do it at night. Fine, that's great. But I've done it for so many years that I feel off if I don't do it. And I want to be able to continue that. I want to be able to keep doing that the rest of my life. And that's just where I stand on that. Touching back on the yoga, I also learned that there are so many modifications in yoga. You can go all out. You can really hit it hard and make it a tough workout. Or if I'm not feeling it that day, I just back it down a little bit. Still working my body, still stretching, still doing a good thing for myself, but back it down a little bit. The other thing I absolutely love about yoga is the fact that it has taught me to breathe. It has taught me when I'm in a situation here at work or at home in a stressful situation, it's okay to take a minute, close your eyes, and just take a couple of deep breaths. Get focused back in, or get rid of whatever is on your shoulders, whatever's weighing you down at that moment or stressing you out. Don't let it stress you out. It's bad for your health. We all know that. Breathe, just breathe. It has also taught me that meditation, or like I even like to call it, prayer, is really important. Dedicating every day, some time of the day, I like to do mine morning, dedicating a few minutes to take that breath and just be thankful and grateful for everything that you have, for the health that you do have, for the family, for your job, for everything that you have in your life. It can always be so much worse. So be thankful, be grateful, and start out every day on a positive note. Make today the best day, because as we know, no one's guaranteed tomorrow. And make sure that you tell people that are in your life that you love them, that you care about them, and always be paying it forward. Always be the best possible you can be every single day, no matter what.
And that's, well, one, you're inspiring me right now, so thank you for that. But the thing that it's almost like, because I did yoga, the first time I did yoga, I did that hot yoga, and I was in the all out, hit it hard.
Oh yeah.
Right. So this guy took a pre-workout. Don't do that. Don't go to yoga, because I was killing it. I was like, never been there before, holding that little, what's that one where your knees are on your elbows and your feet are up in the air?
Crow pose.
And I went there with the person I was seeing at that time, and I could tell she was a little jealous that it was my first day, and I'm just standing on my head, and she's like, "How are you doing that?" I'm like, But then, you know what the hardest part was? At the end, when I had to control my mind, I had to control my body. She said, "Now just sit there for 5 minutes." And I'm like, I wanted to Spartan kick that door open and run out like a madman. I was freaking out inside.
Yeah.
So even though you were challenged, not that you're not challenging your body now, you're understanding your body, but there's almost an element of, before I was young and I had the body that I could challenge and go all out. Now I can't. Just because you can't challenge yourself in a certain way, there doesn't mean that you can't go all out or figure out how to really challenge you. So you're almost on a journey of, I'm healing my body from the damage that I've done. And now I understand it's really not about how I look. This is a longer race than I thought. It's not a sprint out of the gate. I need to slow it down, create some longevity to make it to the further finish line. I don't want the one that's right around the corner. I want the long one. The only way I'm going to get there is if I slow down, learn how to breathe. Not only just, if you think about your span of life. Yeah. And I've been doing this too, Linda. I don't know what's happening, but maybe you're like sending me some stuff, because like I walked outside, I was feeling the stress, but then it was like in the middle of the night on that full moon. And I stopped right in the middle of the driveway. I didn't care if obviously I checked for cars, make sure nobody was pulling in. But I just closed my eyes. I listened to the chirps of the bugs, the frogs, and I just took a deep breath. And you're right. I came up with a new saying in my mind. I call it "No worry, no hurry." My life is all worry, all hurry. You just got to remind yourself that's not what life is about. Life is about you being happy, you being healthy, enjoying the time on this earth. And the message that you've sent today is unbelievable, because it, one, resonates with me. And I also understand that a lot of people at home right now that are listening, that ours isn't just a gym. It's a place where people have faced, it's not like you go to the regular gym where you hear all the young guys grunting, checking themselves in the mirror. This is a place for people to go, not only to obviously get results, but there's a bigger purpose behind the drive.
Agree, 100%.
That is
100%.
awesome. That is awesome.
Yep. You have to take care of your mind as well as your body. If your mind is not fit, your body's not going to be fit.
Absolutely.
So take the time. I mean, people say, you need, oh, I don't have time for this, or I don't have time for that. You always have time to just breathe and to be thankful, to just, it'll change your entire mindset. That's all there is to it. Another thing I want to touch on really quickly. I used to be in that mindset of I had to work out every single day, whatever it was, I had to get it done. Because, of course, you want to stay fit, you want to stay, thin, you want your weight to stay at a certain level, all that sort of thing. That's all going to change as you get older. The weight is going to change no matter what. Muscles redistribute, things change. When I realized I didn't have to work out every single day, and my body actually felt better when I recovered at least 2 days a week. I try to take off 2 full days a week, or I do absolutely nothing. Well, I shouldn't say nothing. We know us women and moms are always busy doing, running up the stairs for laundry and chasing kids. And I have 7 grandchildren now, and I'm, constantly got them on the weekend, chasing them around. So we're always active. We're always busy, but take a rest from the traditional workout. And I know Summer's always 100% behind this too. Don't work out every single day. Give your body a rest. Give yourself.
It's called, and I'm sure it's called periodization. People think all out all the time equals better results. No,
not at all.
What are gains from you healing, like muscle growth, tearing of the fibers, rehealing, gaining growth?
Right.
So I want people to start looking at it as, if you want results, the results don't come from the workout. It comes from the recovery.
Right.
Like, if you're going, and my goal was to gain muscle and do all this, and you go to a point where you start catabolizing your own muscle and burning the wrong stuff you're trying to get rid of. So there I was feeling good about myself because I was lying in my mind about how much work I was putting in. But the person in the mirror, I didn't see the same person everybody else saw. And they saw a guy getting really skinny, unhealthy, sunk, you know what I mean? And I had a distorted view of myself because based on all the work I thought was good that I was putting in. Well, I'm killing it.
Yeah.
I have to look. The person I see looks great. What are you talking about? But not only that, you said something else that also I picked up on. Yeah, I kind of, I felt like I had to work out every day. I have that mentality that if I don't do something I set forth for myself, I get really down on myself.
Yeah,
so then I was putting these too high of expectations on myself that didn't need to be in place. And then when I didn't hit them, because it's a hard thing to do, work out 6 days a week. When I wasn't hitting that, I'm setting myself up for mind failure because I don't feel good about myself because I set an unrealistic goal that makes my body feel like garbage all the time. Exactly. So it's almost like a double pass. It's like it gives your mind a rest from you being hard on yourself because you're allowing yourself, I only made it 2 days this week. I only made it 3 days. Well, that's where you should be.
Correct.
And you're allowing your body the rest because now you're only doing it 3 days. The results don't come from the work. It comes from the recovery. So you can be putting all the work in the world in, but if you're not giving your body the appropriate time to get healed, you're not going to get where you want to be, and you're going to be discouraged the whole step of the way. And another aspect that you touched on too, I know I didn't take fitness serious. I was like, oh boy, it's been a month. The tire around the waist is starting to come back. So then I'd revisit the gym, feel good about myself, but not really feel good about myself. Had that pretend feel good because I looked good in the mirror. And then, you have your little hiatus, you get out of weight, life gets in the way. But a medical issue that could be weighing you down can also lift you up, because now I guarantee you're not that person. I can go a month and when that tire starts to show up, love handles, then I'm get back. This is a lifestyle that you have to keep in place for the remainder of your life because you're battling every step along the way. But that battle that you're going to be fighting, I think, is going to create longevity even further if you went all out the whole way through your life.
Mhm.
So I think everything you said today is absolutely amazing. It really sparked some ideas and thoughts in my mind. So now I kind of want to lead into, I know there's probably people out there saying, well, I got this going on, I got that going on. Let's go ahead and open up to a few questions. I'm going to unmute everybody. Or here. If you guys have a question, throw your hand up and then I'll unmute you. And I can see Renee right now. I got Patty, I got Debbie, I got Megan Scott, I got Casey. So I'm going to flip the page to see. Oh, look at this. So we have, I don't have to name everybody, but if you have a question or anything along the sorts, throw a hand up or even an emoji. And if you don't have a question, you just enjoyed everything you heard today, that's okay too. So I'm gonna give it about, another 30 seconds. Anybody out there who would like to ask a question? Or maybe say, thank you for sharing your story, because that is awesome too. I just like people to enter. Oh, I'm at work, so I'm just listening, but I will say I felt the same way about yoga at first. Yoga. And now I love it. So that was from Megan Scott. Thank you so much, Megan. And I'm thinking I'm finding my inner yoga master here too, because I realize your body can't take all that abuse for very long. Think about, that's a good way to think about yoga. And Linda, you're the yoga. I'm gonna refer to you as the yoga master because I look up to you in that aspect because I don't know much. But it's almost like doing the work without the negative. You're not beating your body up. You're getting fitness work in, but you're also, what's the number one thing you lose when you age?
Flexibility.
Flexibility.
Mhm.
What's another thing you lose when you age?
Mental sharpness, mental.
True. And you're gaining a connection with your body. Next thing I know is balance.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of balance in yoga, putting your
Yes.
bodies in unnormal situations that you're not used to being into, and say,
Mhm.
hey, can I stay here for 1 second?
Mhm.
That and we got some more questions coming in, so that's awesome. So this is from Debbie Durbin. Thank you for sharing your story. I would have never known the struggle. And that's a great point too there, Debbie. Struggle with how you perform. So I kind of want to elaborate on that. So thank you, Debbie, for sharing that. But not only does that not just apply with fitness, people are going through struggles internally, depression, especially in the current state that this world is in with the pandemic and all that. I was depressed, like I was bad, like it was bad.
Mhm.
But when you saw Todd, you saw that smile on his face. Hey, when something's wrong with you and someone say, hey, is there anything wrong? No, I'm fine. Everybody has these struggles inside. People go through hard times and you won't even realize it. The point is, I feel like I've learned that human behavior started to pick up on things like Linda was talking about early. Not only be thankful for the people in your life, but also, like she said, pay it forward. If you've been in a struggle in your world and you try to cover in ways, there's signs, there's cues. Pick up on those cues of those people that might be in hurt, that try to cover it up, and be that standout person in their life to make that change. Because if nobody steps in your way from a dark path that you're going down, a lot of times you're going to get to the end and you're going to be alone. Be that person stepping, blocking their way. And I'll tell you about depression too. When you're depressed, you don't want to know people. It's a fight to cover it up. It's like you're living a double life. So if you're that person, don't be afraid to reach out for help. Not only, hopefully all you guys can feel that comfort level with us. So please, if you're there, speak up. If you're not there, notice the signs of others and be that person to uplift their life. Don't, I wouldn't say force it out of them, but know that they have a shoulder there. They have someone that cares. Be that person in someone else's life. And yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. We've been on for 30 minutes. Let me just see what else we got here. So Megan Scott came through. Casey, thank you. Have to run to another meeting. This was helpful. Thank you for sharing your struggle. I'm the same, Todd. It's been and this is Megan. Can you give me a thumbs up? It's cool. Is this to everybody? Horrible year for us, but most people have no idea because I always smile. Linda, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Can't wait till the next Yoga Sunday. Thank you.
It'll be coming up in September, I promise.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for hanging out. Linda, this is great stuff. And
Thank
to be
you.
honest, I didn't know what we're going to talk about because I don't really even know Linda that great.
Yeah.
But like we pass and we have our smile in our eyes, but we'll see each other at the team stuff. But she's on a little bit, talking about early morning, get your endorphin. I'm like early morning, get my coffee. And then I'm the decompressor stressor rather than the prepare myself for the stress. So you kind of prepare your mind for the stress that you're about to receive.
Yes.
After my long day, I'm like, let's get this out. So thank you so much for Linda for hanging out. And I think this is probably the best turnout we've had. So you're doing something right in the morning with the yoga because they seem to love you. Thank you guys for hanging out. Have a great day. Usually I'll say everybody's name, but we had so many of you. Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody. Great day. Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Linda.
Thank you. Bye-bye.